All right, just count to 10 real quick.
Out loud?
Uh-huh.
Oh, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
Okay. Now count backwards from 10.
10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
Okay, that's
Is
good.
this a psychiatric test? It feels like a drunk test I took on Jefferson Avenue at 4 a.m. once.
Did you pass?
Yeah, I don't know how I did. A document came out from the Vatican that each culture should use the principle of adaptation. The 11 years in the black parish were a delight. You could adapt anything because the people were adaptable. 85% of them were converts from Protestant churches, so they didn't know half that old Catholic stuff that I don't want people to know.
I think he totally gave people an opportunity to express themselves in a way they had not before.
Of course, we got a lot of publicity at St. Mary's because it was the only black Catholic church in town, or the biggest one in the diocese. And you had creative people on the liturgy committee. And once you gave them an idea, in white suburbia, you had to push them. But in the black parish, they ran with it.
He wanted me to express myself in my culture, in my church, in the Catholic faith.
I had read the diaries of Nat Turner. And even though he was one of those sort of Pentecostal people that God talks to directly, he heard voices, he couldn't read or write because the white people wouldn't let him. But he led a slave rebellion, and he was put on trial and condemned to death in Cortland, Virginia, which was about 25 miles away. So the liturgy committee, I went out and we traveled all the way to where Nat Turner had been condemned. We went to the library and did research, and we found out, rescinding from his Pentecostal private interpretation of the Bible and hearing voices, he was a man convinced that the only way black people would ever get their freedom, you'd have to get the attention of the white people, and the only way to do it was by killing. It was an extreme measure, but it was an extreme motivation. So I read the whole story and did more research and said, we have to do Nat Turner.
I helped to develop some of the script, the story that we went along with that. But in essence, it paralleled the life of Jesus Christ to the life of Nat Turner.
We built Nat Turner's house, cabin in the church, and each week we talked about liberation and how Jesus really liberated us to make us totally human and made totally different, to rise above ourselves, serve the community. He liberated us from sin. And we kept looking for a place to go so we could end up in front of the courthouse in Cortland and be on a real historical spot. And I finally got a Baptist preacher way out in Cortland to agree to let us use the backyard of his church. He had a big backyard there.
It wasn't just kind of the acting of it and the remembering of it. Yeah, it was really real to life too in Southampton County that didn't seem to be so embracing of several busloads of black people coming down there to be in that county.
On Saturday night before Passion Sunday, when we're going to go out and have Nat Turner condemned to death on the same liturgical day as Jesus was condemned to death, the Baptist preacher called me up about 11:30. He was very nervous, and he said, you can't come out. 9 o'clock Mass the next morning, the church was packed. This was not unusual, but I could see a lot of extra people. And then at 11 o'clock, we were supposed to get on the buses and go to Cortland. And I kept saying to myself, now where are we going to go?